So this video, I want to address the common question or talking point, which is the the nature of women formerly being conservative, but now being majority liberal in today's times. This was a discussion how I was having on online, and I thought it was worth making a video about it. So, why why is it that women historically were? I hate that my beard that does this. It like goes in here. Anyway, why is it that they used to be conservative but they're now more liberal? It's actually quite simple. So, um, women are actually not conservative and have never been conservative. What they are is selfish, and that's because women are not men in the sense that women are not, as a creature, they're not inherently virtuous and they don't possess a lot of empathy or conscientiousness. They only really run on base instincts or um, from a mentality which derives from their inherent anxiety and their place of lack. Um, and this is a source of a lot of women's evil. Um, if you take it to the Bible, when the fall of man occurred, God's punishment for women was to give them sorrows. You know, for their part in the fall of man, she was cursed to be sorrowful and to feel guilt and anxiety. Um, it's only this is tangential, but it's only through sacrifice that a woman will overcome these things. Of course, in today's age, they're encouraged to do the total opposite of that. Um, so to address the flip from conservatism to liberalism, if you consider that women are not conservative but they're in fact selfish, then this will give you an insight into their motivations. So the fundamental change that occurred with feminism is it flipped that selfish ambition from conservatism, which would be procuring resources from men through the institution of marriage. When when socialism and communism entered the periphery, the state began to gain more and more control over capital and labor, which is what all of this is centered around. So, with the breakdown of marriage and the increasing power of the state as the middleman, what's happened is that selfish ambition uh, no longer requires the institution of marriage. Instead, the women can procure the resources that they formerly used to get from men. They can now get it from the state, which, um, as an entity, includes the judiciary, the law, but also um, labor in the form of the corporation. Um, this is why corporations pander to women so much, because they are the major voting bloc, which you can say is uh, relatively irrelevant in terms of the actual direction of the company. Most people tend to believe that voting is worthless and that really the direction of the world is governed by the whims of the elites, which I tend to agree with. But Regardless, women hold something like 80% of all domestic debt. Um, so it behooves the corporations to pander to women in every single way, because the only way to keep this superfluous fiat system going is to allow women to accrue debt. So now that women don't need men, at least on the surface, they can rely on the state, which means that they become socialists. But this is not anything to do with politics, really. It's just the selfish ambition has flipped, and the state enables that selfish ambition in women. Um, but all of this is really hypocritical, because to say that is not to say that men are no longer um, part of the process. Indeed, men are still part of the process. It's just that now, rather than the women going straight to the men through marriage, instead the state enables the women to act as a symbiote or a parasite and extract the resources um, through extra steps, or the fact that women are given a leg up in the corporate world. They're not punished as harshly for crimes, etc., etc. This is all about the diversion of capital away from men towards women. But the state creams off of the top in that process. This is incidentally why MGTOW is so demonized in the media and by women, because women feel entitled to men's labour, the whole of it, and they always have and they always will. So MGTOW represents a threat to that dominance. You know, it's the truth. The truth of the matter is that all of this world was created by men for women, and in the end, once the women have been given everything, they cut the man out. The, the man has been cut out. How's that for gratitude? Huh? But such is the nature of evil.